himself in the mirror for 30 plus minutes.
You know what, man?
Y'all remember Kool-Aid Jammers?
Everybody acting like they ain't scared.
What's up, my peeps? It is Friday night. Usually we're here on a Wednesday night, but I've been adding a few shows with some talented New Englanders, comedians and bands, solo artists. And tonight, I have my first band in tonight, a whole band, a trio, a metal band here in Minutes Unsettled, man. Guys, welcome to the Room Podcast, man. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited, bro. I got three young guys in there who like shred up there on the stage, man. So
Young and good looking.
yeah,
Right?
definitely. I wouldn't have brought anyone else in as the first show with you guys, but
Thanks for having us on.
definitely, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put out an ad, a couple of weeks ago, out on all group pages as far as local, bands and stuff like that, and comedian comic pages and all that other stuff. And I got a lot of feedback. And you guys, Adam, you were one of the guys I reached out. And I think someone was tagging. People were getting tagged everywhere.
Yeah.
So you might have got it tagged. And then you reached out to me and had a bunch of questions. And I instantly checked you out. And I was like, cool, these guys are heavy. I'm fucking...
Well, I was checking out your page, and you've got a lot of traction between all the MMA fighters and then the comedians. And the fact that you're branching out, too, past just one niche thing, which I'm all for anything niche, but branching out was really cool to see. So we knew at that point, we're like, yo, let's do it.
Yeah. As far as me, I've been in, doing the MMA thing and bringing up, kind of supporting fighters that are kind of like you guys, a year or a year and a half in as far as, playing together and playing out now. I've been interviewing guys from their first amateur fight until, now they're pros. Some of them in the UFC and they have left New England, fighting for all other organizations. And, I've been doing that for so long. And, I'm hungry for a change. And I love music, played music growing up. I know a lot of people in the music scene, a lot of old timers. Some of these old timers could be parents of the new generation of musicians out there now. And I said, I think I can give a little positivity to and a little support to the local community, and maybe I'll get a free ticket to a show here and there. You know what I mean?
We're always going to give you that. We got you covered.
And then, I'm a kind of funny guy online, and I like to joke. And even when I do interviews and do like live podcasts, I make jokes, and I'm pretty sarcastic, and
Same with us.
yeah. So why not have a good time, get people get some support for the bands coming in, and for myself in the growth of Room Podcast. But I thank you guys for being the first ones. I'm gonna go around the table because I'll talk forever. So Adam, how long you been playing? What is your main instrument, vocals, and how long have you been in Minutes Unsettled?
So we formed Minutes Unsettled back in 2021. It was just when it was me and Mitch. I'll get into that more in a little bit. But as far as playing music, I've been playing in music pretty much forever. Really, since I was 7. That's when I picked up my first set of drumsticks and picked up the guitar for the first time. My dad taught me a bunch of things. And him being a musician, he was kind of like passing the torch on to me. So I just took it and ran with it. And at this point, I can't say I even have one specific instrument that I play, because I was a solo musician for so long. And then back in 2021, that's when Mitch and I were like, hey, let's form up let's do something different. We've been writing partners for a while. And in 2021, that's when we formed up Minutes. So.
Now, I've been checking out your Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. Were you a 2-piece band, or
Yep.
Like that's how you started? It was just what were you guys doing? Did you have tracks in the back of other things, or were just how were you?
We recorded everything, but as far as playing live, that wasn't even a thought at that point, because we were just more so focused on putting some music out there and seeing what people thought of it at first. And then after that, we just kind of like threw it out there and we're like, all right, whatever happens, happens. And then Tyler ended up coming along, and it's only been since September that we've been playing out live. So
Nice. Well, I got to get to Tyler because you're a drummer, and I'm jealous because you shred, dude. You young guys, man, coming out of the woodwork and just these prodigies that have been playing. Like, how long have you been, playing drums?
Out the womb.
Yeah.
Ever since I was born, my with band practice under my feet. No, my dad played drums, bass, and guitar his whole life. He was mainly a bass player when I was born. And then he quit a few years after, and then passed the torch. But I've been ever since just going at it with drums. I just love to beat on things since I was little, and then my dad introduced me to Rush, and that was kind of like I want to be like that, you know.
Yep.
So first started playing all Rush songs, joined drum lessons, started going at that, and now here I am playing.
You're
a
playing
ton of
guitar
gigs.
also.
Yep.
So-
Over the pandemic, is just nothing better to do, really. So.
And because you guys sent an acoustic, a little acoustic song that you guys were, rehearsing maybe to play tonight. We'll see.
Yeah.
And I was like, the drummer plays guitar too. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I mean, when I was starting to play, when I was coming up, it was, played one instrument. Unless you were a guitar player, you could play bass. Like a lot of guitar players got forced to play bass because you could never find a bass player. But it was never a, multi. Look at the bass player over there. it was never. You never had musicians that played everything. You know what I mean? Or played drums. Like everyone was either guitar player could play a little keyboard, or guitar player could play bass, or vice versa.
Right.
A bass player I could play some rhythm guitar. Never had someone that like sang. Play drums, did bass, lead guitar, rhythm guitar, and did it all at home.
Yep.
And got it all together at so young ages. Like it's crazy. And it's I give a lot of credit to the internet and
oh yeah,
and being able to have things figured out already, like steps ahead that you don't have to figure out. You're like, oh, all right, so I look it up how to do this.
well, the pandemic honestly was the biggest part of all of this. I mean, honestly, that's really why we formed up Minutes, was because it was kind of the birth of the pandemic. We're kind of just sick of sitting at home and doing nothing and twiddling our thumbs. So that's where Mitch and we started kind of working together and joined forces at that point. And that level of isolation kind of fed into it too. And it was like, all right, you know what? Let's do something. Whatever it is, we don't know how it's going to turn out. We don't know what it's going to look like, sound like, whatever. But let's see what happens. Exactly.
And that happened a lot with not just musicians, with a lot of people during that time, that lockdown.
Yeah.
They homed in their craft. They learned new things. Or they just got better at what they were doing. A lot of fighters had nowhere to train. I'm gonna keep bringing up a fighter. Comedians were probably all in someone's bathroom fucking practicing lines too. You know what I mean? Everyone was on Zoom and shit like that. But man, a lot of people came out of such a negative time with like positive things going forward. So picking you guys is a big thing that came out of there.
Art comes from dark places, so that's.
Well, let's get to the dark place. Let's get to Mitch real quick about how you would you start with bass players? They get the raw deal, man. So
Special boy.
Where I started with, I was just, of course, guitar that warped into bass over time, and then I started learning a little bit, in recent years about how to genuinely play bass to the fullest that it can be, and then Adam asked me, like, hey, do you want to start like a band? Like, I heard you do this. Do you want to start? And I was like, yeah, let's do it, because we have the ability, and we both know that it can happen. And I had some songs knocking around under my belt, so did he. And so we just full on sent it, and that was everything from there. So it wasn't, of course, the intention to start to become a bassist, but as I settled into it, I'm like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be.
well, pieces of the puzzle. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Exactly.
So what were your influences as far as, I mean, you had to have kind of the same influences in to get together and
Honestly,
mesh, or
you'd
no?
be surprised because this dude right here, Mitch,
crazy dude.
he's something else.
Yeah.
He honestly, I consider Mitch kind of like my gateway person for a lot of stuff because I always wanted to form like a heavy metal band, but honestly, like besides listening to like thrash metal from like the 80s and a lot of 90s new metal, which definitely does play into Minutes Unsettled a lot. Like there is that influence in there, but we only take the bits that work for us. He introduced me more into the modern side of heavy metal, so he was my gateway as far as that went. He took me to a show in Dusk in Providence years ago, and that was sort of where it was like the metal awakening for me right there. Seeing people mosh,
Yes.
that was like that was that dream for me at that point. I was like, yo, I want to make music so aggressive that it creates people to toss each other around like rag dolls here. For me though, to answer your question, a lot is the 90s and 80s metal, classic metal, Slipknot, Korn, Judas Priest,
Stuff.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned, your father got into your father. Mentioned also a working band. Your father playing a working band as you were growing up, or just
Not as I
he
was
a
growing up.
musician?
After that point, after him raising 5 kids,
Yeah.
he was like, you know what? I got to focus on the family. But I heard a lot of stories from him
Yeah.
from the 80s, from when he was playing in a bunch of different bands, bands like Cadaver, Attack, Asylum was his project there.
Originals or covers or a little
Both.
bit of both?
Both,
Okay.
yeah. And just hearing like all the stories that he had to share, I think that kind of lit the fire under my butt.
He ever mentioned JR's Fast Lane
Yep.
on,
Yep.
on the highway, right off the highway?
Yep. It turned into Mardi Gras.
Yeah,
for a
you and
bit.
your
Yep.
dad. We might have freaking bumped heads at one time
Probably.
because we used to play there. We used to open up for Touch and Strut.
Yeah.
Back in we're going
Heard
in
that name
the
before.
early
Yep.
'90s. You know what I mean?
Dirty Deeds.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's
Yep.
like 85 right now.
Oh yeah, open for them. There's-
And he's
They
still
are something
cranking it
else.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you love living in a small state?
It
Yeah.
is. It's great. Now, all right. So your dad, these bands are coming back. I mean,
Yeah.
they're,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
coming back. People are getting that. Look at me. I'm in my 50s and I'm freaking playing drums again, playing, Christmas songs at a
Great.
fucking carnival on Sunday,
I rock with it.
Never too late.
But all right, to get to you, you mentioned not to put him on the spot, but you said your dad played out and
Yeah.
all that other stuff. Bands, any?
Oh yeah, he was in bands for 20 years.
Any?
since he was
Any?
a
Can
kid.
we throw a known name out there that we?
There's one is on Spotify called CAD. I still listen to it. I don't think he knows. I
So
still
original
listen to
band,
it, but
original
yeah.
band. Okay.
Yeah, I love it. But the drummer in that band, he moved down to Texas. But when I was little, he would put me on on his lap, and I would just bang on the drums. I would go play on his kit during band practice. Have my little Zach Wild mini flying V, and I'd be jamming to practice, and I wouldn't be on, but I thought I was on, and it was great. It's so fun.
Awesome.
But yeah, he was one of the most inspirational drummers for me, and yeah, it was just I don't even know why he would.
Is he still
with it,
jamming
but-
now, or I mean, he
Not
must
really, not as much.
He must be proud as fuck of you. You know what I mean? Now you're playing,
think
you're
so.
out there and doing shit. Now, before you jumped in with these guys, I would imagine, were you in other bands, jamming with other people?
I was in last year. All throughout, I played like 60 something. A local cover band. We played hair metal. We were
No
playing,
shit.
Yeah, we were playing around. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I'm still working myself back into the hair metal phase because I'm still sick of the songs. Playing them 4 hours a night. But yeah, it was a good game. That was actually my first band.
There was a Motley Crue tribute band looking for a drummer. Did you see that ad? You would have fit
Really?
right in.
That was
You know?
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I mean, the guys
Yeah.
that are trying out, they're all like bare bellies and they fucking got to wear wigs, man.
Yeah,
you would have
right.
fit right in there, man. They would have loved you, man.
He's got the Tommy Lee energy.
Yeah,
there, so.
that's what I'm saying, man.
Oh,
But that's
man.
cool. I mean, do you guys do side thing? Like you mentioned, you were in another band. I mean, I know this is your main focus, but do you, do other stuff or jam with other people also?
But
So-
we actually
We're band whores. Is that what you're gonna say?
Oh yeah, we do. The band cest is crazy. It's where we do acoustic cover band, just go on this.
Yeah.
Not often, but we do it. You know,
that's
we
cool.
played at last show was at Autumn Fest in Woonsocket. That was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just something we just go and do.
So is it you 3 guys that do it, or?
I'm
He's not a
guy.
I wrote these fucking original
I
things, man. I ain't doing this.
I
shit.
can't. I'm not good on covers.
It's
Yeah.
originals all the way.
I-
I'm gonna
yeah.
make up
No.
my own shit. I ain't following
He
anyone else.
is probably the best compositionist I have ever met, and I've had the opportunity and to play with so many amazing musicians before, but he is probably one of the best compositionists. He is a monster, like an
And
absolute
what goes on in
beast.
his head is
exactly. Well, because a
unknown.
lot of
Do you
the
watch horror
things-
movies? Like, wow, you a big friggin'. You know,
I
He
don't
is the
watch
horror
men.
movie.
it's
Do you like
it's
fucking-
all it all comes naturally. I don't have to absorb it. It's just
Terrifier 3?
there.
Like, what's going on?
You
with
lose
Like,
enough sleep, and eventually it starts to.
His songs just got stop popping.
Yeah,
up.
they're just like, you know what? That sounds good.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of what I do is, of course, I'm the bassist, but I constantly, almost annoyingly sending them riffs saying, "Hey, would this song sound good?" And then they're just like, "Yeah, we're putting it in." So
Almost
We'll
always.
we'll get to it.
Every single song that we released on our first EP actually was all started off on Mitch. Like Mitch started everything off, and then he'd send it to me, and I'd be like, "Yo, like let's bring this up a little bit more." And like we work off of each other so
Producer
well as
machine.
far as
Do
that
you
goes.
sing as well?
I can, yeah, but I don't go to singing on the albums that often. But
But when you are right, do you write the lyrics or a
No,
little
no.
more the melodies and the riffs and the?
I write the riffs. I've put in like set up drum parts. and,
Okay.
like beginning,
That's so
middle,
good,
and end.
isn't it? When
Oh,
they can
yeah,
tell you
it's
exactly what
nice.
they want. I mean, some drummers would get like, upset about but I invited it when we were doing the original thing, and the guitar player knew like,
Yeah.
you're gonna do that, like try it this way, add this kick in there. I'm like, oh man, that works, man.
Because usually it's very like for me, I'm very creative, and usually I'm like kind of running the show with that kind of thing. But with him and Adam, like I don't know what they really want, for lack of a better term.
yeah.
You know, like what goes. I don't know what going on in his head. He puts some crazy stuff in songs. He is the backbone of all the weirdness.
Does he ever throw anything at you that you're like, I can't do that, or I gotta fucking
Not
practice
yet.
this all week or whatever?
I
Or
make the
are you
hardest.
trying? Are you
I'm making
trying
the
to-
hardest effort to
does.
not just oversell and be like, "Hey, you're gonna hit the bell, the hi hat, and the snare all at the same time."
He is
No.
the epitome of the guitarist writing drum parts on MIDI. It's like-
Yeah.
Like you're gonna be an octopus out there, right?
Oh yeah, 5 drums at once.
That's fucking awesome. Man, you play. All right, so let's talk about shows now. You said you started playing shows in say September.
Yep.
That's when I noticed in your clip, a little highlight clip there, a pub on the park.
Yes.
Pub on
Oh, yeah.
Park, a little big story. I grew up there. I grew up bowling in that place when I was like fucking 12 years old.
Yeah.
The pub itself was called the Legion Pub at one time. It was basically the size of this tiny
Yeah.
fucking place. It was a laundromat on the side. Then they opened it up. But I've known that place for probably 40 years, and now you guys playing heavy metal hardcore shows, and they're on Sundays there, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
You want to give them a plug? Is that still going on? They still do that on Sundays? There?
Yeah,
Oh,
the Metal Sundays. Yeah.
So it's Metal Sundays. Now, when I was going there, I would check it out every so often. The bartender or Jill was running it at that
I
time. Is
believe
it
she is
still
Yeah.
Possibly.
blonde, long blonde.
Yep.
Blonde. Yeah, she's still working there. Also, I haven't been there in like 3 years.
Yeah.
But how's that? Was that
That was
one
a
of your
huge-
first shows?
That was our first public show, yeah. So our first show was like a little backyard type of DIY type of show. And that was a lot of fun. But we were also still like trying to figure out exactly how we were gonna make our live show go. So that was like the alpha show. And then with the Pub on Park show, that was kind of a shot in the dark for us because we were put on this bill with a bunch of other bands and it was like that community type of show. And we kind of knew at that point, we're like, let's do something a little bit different. Like, let's give people a show that they haven't seen before. let's use TVs here. Let's display our lyrics in time with the music at that point. Shout out to my mom for that, because she gave me that idea. She's like, I don't understand everything that you're saying, and I want to, so what can you do for me, Adam? I was like, you know what? Let's put our lyrics up on display while we're playing live. And that was really cool, because that was the first time live, and we've only played 3 shows at this point, but that was the first time live that we were able to do that and pulled it off, and it was really kind of a show for that. But no, everybody was really cool about it. It was a fun show, honestly.
Yeah, they're
Like,
Sunday
for us-
afternoons, right? It isn't at.
Yeah, like
They
Sunday
usually
evenings.
yeah, they start
Yeah.
off, later afternoon, but it isn't like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. The first band goes on.
No,
like
yeah,
earlier.
there was like 5 bands on our bill, so we
Yeah,
started.
you got to
like,
get in there, 'cause
yeah,
in and
it
out
was
too.
nice.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Take the
the
drummer
setup-
and
That
like
was the
everyone's
most
in and
stressful
out.
part for us
Yeah.
was because we brought so much stuff in. We were such a pain in the
Oh,
ass.
that's right.
That's
Because
the
you had the
problem.
monitors or whatever with
Exactly.
the words. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was because trying something different. We walked in with the TVs. Everyone was like, "What, are you playing video games on stage?"
Yeah.
It's
We also
like,
had some of our lights as
We
well.
did. We brought
Everyone's
some
looking at
lights.
you though as you're walking in. What do they
Yeah,
got
what-
going on?
what
over
is
there?
that?
Oh, you brought your own lights
We
too?
brought some of our lights.
You guys
yeah.
are out of your minds. I love
they,
it.
they must have thought we were a bunch of clowns walking in. But
No, you're passionate,
it
man.
crushed, though.
We're-
I'm
you're
like,
passionate,
yeah.
crushed. Yeah.
We are control freaks at the end of the day, so
Oh, yeah.
that's where a lot of it comes from.
All right, that show there. Did you have getting shows like that? You're expected to bring people. Right,
Yeah.
to the show to get another one or stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You have a following of people that
We're
will
building it
trek out to
ongoing.
get out there to see.
Oh
it.
yeah, absolutely.
As far as the pub, I mean, that's not a huge place. You can have 15, 20 people come, and that looks like
Yeah.
a packed house over there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're definitely building our following ongoing, but we've got those people in our corner they'll come to our shows. So
Excellent.
it's nice to have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Social media girlfriends are always cool. Though. Throw
They
social
are.
media at and like
Yeah.
get out there. They're all good with that. Putting out flyers. You still do that? The flyer thing?
Honestly,
Like at
no, we
shows?
haven't. I know that's
You remember? Like,
it's
is that
reliable.
is that still happen? You remember everyone
just
used to
digital, the digital
Yeah,
flyers.
yeah.
Yeah,
Digital
it's just
flyers.
DMing people at this point and
okay.
just saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
come to the show."
Yeah, you remember like everyone used to put them on the cars at the shows and stuff like that. People just throw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten those several times though from different people. Just like out of nowhere, I'll get a flyer and they're like, I'm like, oh, okay.
It's a good idea though. I mean, it's different now.
Yeah,
so might
it's-
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, you just get one of the girls to hand out flyers in the show or whatever. I don't know. All right, so Pub on the Park. That was what around when?
That was in October,
All
mid-October.
right, so a month
yeah.
after.
Yeah.
So what was your first show?
That was a DIY
That was the,
show.
that was the
yeah.
first show out in public. I saw you doing some backyard stuff too.
Yep,
Yeah.
Was that to get ready?
That was the DIY.
That was,
Oh, was
the
it-
show.
That was that DIY. Yep.
Yeah.
No, where was that? Whose
That was in
backyard it?
Killingly.
Yeah, it was
Connecticut.
another band. You're friends with. Well, he's friends with a bass player called Desnes. The guitar player has this giant duplex or whatever, like this. He owns this big building in the middle of nowhere in Connecticut. And
Yeah.
the backyard is like an amphitheater because
Yeah.
of the way the woods are placed in the house. So we just set up, and it's crazy. There was
You have
just.
PA and everything there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
a sound
Everything.
guy. He was yeah.
No
it was
shit. So
great.
it was
They knew how to do
all
it.
everything going
Yeah,
on
no,
there.
feedback
yeah.
and all that, had excitement going. Yeah.
So is this something that goes? They do quite often over there, or is it like once in a while he puts on a show in his backyard?
I think it's
kinda?
like every couple of months that
Nice.
they'll do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Is there
the
more?
warmer
More
weather.
when we were playing, we were older, but we were hanging around with a lot of bands that were like college age. We were like later 20s. We were hanging around with like a lot of college age kids. We were playing a lot of halls. They would rent out halls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
still going on when you or is it just it's harder to
Not-
get stuff like that going on?
Not as much anymore, not from what I've seen, just being in the scene. Like, they don't do, like, halls. Like, basement shows still happen, and, again, backyard DIY.
Yeah,
but it's,
DIY
like,
shows are popping up
it's
everywhere.
it's now to be like, okay, these places are used for huge high-end functions now, like getting ourselves in there, reputation to uphold and all that. So it's, you just go to a basement or a backyard or, like, under a bridge somewhere and just go.
Right.
Yeah, it's jamming. It's music. I
Yeah.
mean, you see
Yeah.
these guys getting famous playing on a street corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A 3-piece band like yourselves.
Yeah,
You know, a bass
High
drum.
Fate.
Huh?
High Fade.
Is
the-
that
the
them
funk
from
bands?
England or something? Are they from another country?
The funk band.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I love them
They're
so
fucking
much.
awesome, aren't they?
They're awesome.
They just go off. It's like, holy
Yeah.
shit, this
They're
is good
so
stuff,
good.
man. So
Yeah.
stuff like that's cool.
Yeah.
But you guys are in the thick of heavy, hard or stuff. You played at the Alchemy too.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was
That was
Now
a
that's
two
a
weekends
show,
ago.
right?
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a
That was.
I've been there a
probably-
couple of times. I've
Well,
been there
they
to
just
see. I went to
changed.
see that band, Kingsmen there,
Yeah.
and I went to a fetish night.
Nice.
So I like that place. It's got a lot going on. But
It's a good place.
yeah, so how? All right, a band like yourself, how do you get in there to play? From
Just
people you
reach
know,
out.
or
Just
On a
reach out,
whim.
honestly.
Yeah.
It's,
you got to send tapes or anything to the club? Like, how does that work?
No,
No, none of that?
We got
Honest-
that show. It was strange. It was like, honestly, I forget how we did. It might have been a post. That's how we get a lot of our shows. Is like a post is kind of like, we have this date open, someone take it, and then it's kind of whoever
Okay.
gets there first. But we texted the promoters for it, and they threw us on the bill with these two big bands on a tour, and we were like, whoa, what? We looked on the profiles, and they were like thousands of followers. Like one band had like over 500,000 monthly listeners, and we were like, okay, so we're doing this now for the
Nice.
second show, third show. It's pretty crazy.
It's cool to just rub elbows with bands like that. Were they cool?
Yeah,
they're
they
usually cool
were
coming
cool.
in.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of local. Well, some of them. I mean, there's a lot of bands that have a lot of followers, but they're still scraping by, touring around, sleeping in their vans and stuff like that, showering at the gyms.
the nature of
stuff
the
like that.
beast.
yeah.
That was like when I
Yeah.
was talking to the Kingsmen. I'm like, Mike, the drummer, who lives in Rhode Island, in Johnston, actually, right down the street. He was like, I'm like, it's not all glory. He goes, no. He goes, we're fucking making bunk beds in the back of our van, so we don't
Yeah.
have to sleep on each other. And I'm like, well, he goes, we get memberships to gyms, or I have a membership that I can invite 3 people. We go shower there and stuff like that. Sleep in the friggin' truck stops and stuff that have showers and stuff like that. Can you not wait for that to happen?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. You have no
Honestly,
idea.
That's the goal.
That's the journey.
That's the expectation with how expensive everything.
And there goes all the band girlfriends.
That's it. They're all out. That's awesome. And there's a lot of sleeping on couches and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just whoever's like, hey, we're in the area. Do you like this music? Yeah, can we use your couch? Yeah,
exactly. We'll get your free ticket in, or we'll buy you a bear, or give you
Yeah.
a ticket or whatever.
Exactly.
Man. So Alchemy, did you guys playing again? When's your next show?
January 7th.
All right.
At
for
dusk.
some reason I thought you were playing tomorrow, but maybe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, are they
No,
playing
just give us a
tomorrow?
time and we'll
Right?
show
Yeah,
up.
yeah, that's
Time and a
awesome.
place.
That's awesome.
We'll be there.
So Dusk, I haven't been to that place. Is it bigger than Alchemy? Kind of same size, same kind of.
It's a little
Five.
bit smaller, but
Little-
around the
yeah.
same size. It's in Providence. Actually, that's where Mitch took me to my first like modern metal show years ago.
Yeah.
So it's cool because now we're actually playing this place. But we're actually hosting the show, so this is kind of a first for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right
Nice.
now it's confirmed that we're going to be playing with Stone Nobles, who's also from the area too. So we're excited to play the stage with them too. But we're still ironing some details out right now.
And that's on. Would you say January 7th?
Yep.
What night is that?
It's a Sunday night.
I'll have to go to that.
Yeah,
I'll go.
Mm,
I'll
yeah.
definitely go. I'll record some. of it.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
let me go in there.
love to see you there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely will. I'll bring.
Are you going to be in the pit? Are you going to be?
Fuck out of
strong
here.
people
Let me
around?
tell you one thing. So I got a 20-year-old daughter,
Mhm.
and kind of like how you got into you. Well, they talked about their dads and stuff like
Yeah.
that. We didn't get to that, but we'll get into how you got into it. But my daughter, she was into the rap, the country kind of stuff when she was 11 years old, and I just let her hear Operation Mindcrime from Queensryche. I don't know if
Nice.
you're
Oh,
familiar with
yeah.
that. And I was just telling her the story about it and like how it's a concept that, she never got that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You don't have that disco and funk music,
Yeah.
concept albums, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she started listening to it, and then from there, she's going to now she goes to the Palladium, Lorna Shore, Like
Lorna
band-
Oh, I
Shore,
love
yeah,
Lorna Shore.
dude.
That's what she's got. Friggin' all these bands you can't pronounce all get kicked off Facebook.
Yeah.
Have to do with
Oh, yeah.
bad things. She wears the shirts. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
and she's a great kid, but she's that tough.
Yeah.
Tough. And I
Welcome to the
and-
dark side.
and I've gone to the Palladium with her a couple of times because
Nice.
Mhm.
but now she's, I've gone to the shows and I'm like, oh, that ain't bad. You see a lot of older people with
Yeah.
their kids there or whatever and stuff like that, and they're all hovered in the corner, all hanging. And I was like, me, I'm like, all right, you go do your thing.
Good
And now
fun.
she goes with her friend. And, I'm perfectly cool with it.
We'd love to see it.
Yeah,
dude.
Honestly,
Yeah, is it all ages show?
should be.
I would
Well,
think
or
so.
at least 18 plus.
Oh,
We're-
she's
we're-
20. So
Yeah, right now we're still ironing.
hey,
the
maybe I'll
details
take
out.
her. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll definitely see.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, we're gonna have you guys play in a little while.
Mhm.
These guys are pretty light. We have a band practicing down the fucking office band. They never get out of that room. I mean, they're all
That-
right.
that's
I
a
mean,
way
if
to
you
do it,
feel
I
though.
don't
it-
blame
Yeah.
them. We
Yeah.
do the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
freaking
My basement, 9:30 at night.
awesome.
Yeah.
But the 7th, and all right, let's talk about some demos, or you been in the studio. Let's talk about that. You first. How many EPs or whatever you got out? One or two? Or
So we have one EP and then a single out. Our first, which actually this is gonna be hint hint, no spoilers, but the first song that we're gonna be playing is actually the very first single that we released when we started as a 2-piece. And then we released the following year, so last year, our EP called In Bereft Land, and that took about only 2 years in the
Yeah.
making to
Oh,
make. So
it's-
we were working on music before we came up with the name Minutes Unsettled.
Mhm.
At that point, we just didn't know what it was gonna look like. But yeah, In Bereft Land, we just recorded in my basement at that point.
no shit.
Yeah, all on
Yeah.
Logic Pro. That's a cool thing is Mitch and I, we met in college studying the exact same thing, digital media production. So we're both pretty versatile when it comes to video, music, audio, digital photography, production. So we both share a lot of those same type of skills. So it was kind of cool because like if I was falling behind on something, Mitch would kind of pick up my slack and be like, all right, why don't we try this or something? And then vice versa. So
Yeah.
and now Tyler, who does the exact same stuff as us, it's honestly like we're all kind of like meant to make music together at that point.
Where you were the last piece of the puzzle. How did you get in touch with them? Were they playing around, friends of friends? How did that happen?
It was so I had just I left my cover band that I was in at the very beginning of the year. Things didn't work out, whatever. And then I started practicing on my own, focusing on really honing in on my skills. I'd be in the garage every day, freezing, even though it's still like February, freezing my ass off, and they're going at it. And then I got to a point where I was like, okay, come on, I gotta get a band now. I gotta find. So I searched around for a while, and then I heard about Band Mix. So I went on Band Mix, and they posted an ad. I believe it's still up, actually.
Oh, is that right?
And,
Probably. I haven't
and
been
there-
on it in a while.
there was like two bands that were like actually like had like trustworthy profiles, and
Yep.
they were one of them. And then
And I'm sure they had some audio to check out too on there. I would
Yeah,
imagine.
I-
You could clip your audio to there,
they,
right?
I read the thing, and they were like we need a drummer, maybe a guitar player if you need, like no fragile egos. I was like, okay, who hurt these guys? And then yeah, and then I listened to them on Spotify, and I was like, I've never heard this before. Like it was pretty crazy. I was like, a band from Rhode Island, they're good, and I've never heard anything like it, So I did my signature method of joining a band, and I made a cover of one of the songs, and I posted it on Instagram. And then he saw it, obviously, and they appreciated it a lot. And I was like, and then from what they've told me, they talked to each other, and then Mitch was like, oh, he's like, and
So
then
so
took some
you
deciding.
played a song that they wrote.
Yep.
Yep.
And they recorded drums and everything,
Yep.
right? Did you play it in your own style, or did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they liked
So-
about
Yeah.
it.
So I recorded the original drum tracks.
Yes.
The song was "Melt," and so I'm laying there in bed. I had just woken up in the morning. I'm checking my phone, and I see somebody tagged the Minutes Unsettled page, and I hadn't actually logged into the account in a little bit of time
Yeah.
because we had put the music out, but we were just kind of like seeing what was going on. We were still working on new music at that point. So I see that this person made a drum cover of us, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And why did he play my part? I feel like the worst drummer on earth right now. What the hell?
That's my bad.
But I knew in that moment, especially as soon as I saw that he was also from Rhode Island, I'm like, I want him in this band. This is exactly who we need to get this off the ground and rolling. And, since then, I think it's safe to say we made the right decision.
Yeah.
And at this point, I think playing Alchemy 2 weekends ago was
That's the
big test of that. So
Excellent. Now, what was special about that show? Like, it was just the click, like how it clicked together and how you guys just performed
I
together.
think it's
out there?
everything. It's everything. The way that we
What
we
wasn't
all
special about it? Is
right?
that, you know?
The it's cool because like for me, I had seen one of my favorite bands, the Acacia Strain, play there like a year and a half ago before at the same stage. So it was kind of cool to like think, one of my favorite bands just played on this stage, and here I am playing the exact same stage. But just showing people exactly what we've been holding on to for a long time that we haven't really shown too many people, and putting it into a different sense, because the studio versions of the songs, you're gonna hear the exact same stuff over and over again.
Yep.
You just hit play, rewind, play again, or whatever, and it's always gonna sound the exact same. But it's cool to be able to play the music in a live situation and just let the energy encompass over you, the adrenaline, the pure, like, exactly what you're feeling when you're listening to the song take over your body and just get it out of you.
Did you bring TVs and your
Oh,
own
yeah.
lights?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Should
they
be
let
on.
you did
Oh,
all
yeah.
that too,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
We have to be quiet about it. We gotta kind of sneak it in and not hope that nobody sees and tells us to pack it away. But we're sneaky with it.
But that's
yeah.
all something that's under your control. None of that really goes to the sound man, right? It's all you
Exactly.
hooking everything
Yeah.
up. You just need power, kind of,
We
right?
we have a very condensed rig that we try to be in complete control of, whereas the sound operator basically only one cable, and then we're set. Like everything exterior is through us, so that we have total, like, if we want to stop something
Yeah.
on a whim, the guy doesn't have to scramble to stop something. We can dead cut on our own time. So it's the best part of running the way that we do.
That show was crazy just because we put in we do so many things that like you don't see bands doing at band practice. Like a lot of our band practices, like we only really practice our material if we have a show coming up, The other time we're spent figuring things out, figuring out technology, engineering like concept stage designs and stuff. Trying to teach this guy about like gears and stuff.
Yeah.
He struggles with that.
Bro just threw me under the
But-
bus. Damn.
He doesn't know his gears.
He's cold-hearted,
We're doing
Oh man,
we're doing things.
The young guy taking
Yeah,
on the
yeah, I'm
older
saying,
guy.
yeah.
over
The
here.
old fart.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Alright.
We're trying to do different stuff, so it's about like it's always going to be a learning process, and we can't be like, hey, what did this band do? We don't have that frame of reference, and that's kind of also a goal for us, is to like, this band did it, okay, well let's figure out a workaround. Let's see what we can do. What's us? What's can belong to us in the long run,
Feedback, the bands, the clubs, or the places you've been playing at. How's the feedback and how's the reception of you guys
They
playing?
seem to love it.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite part of the show,
yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
is seeing the look of shock on people's faces, because we're more than just playing music at that point, and it's more than just lyrics. We have the whole show planned out from the moment that it starts. We're bringing an unsettling feeling to our shows, and we're here to kind of like surprise people, give them kind of a twist, kind of draw them in at first, and wonder what the hell is going on at first, and then we hit out of nowhere at that point.
I got to see this.
It's it's definitely an experience.
Yeah, there was like where we seem to be that band where everyone is like eyeing up while they're setting up, and then when you start playing, they got to wipe off the drool from their chin before they realize what's going on.
Yeah.
So we got people pay attention when we're playing. It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And you guys are on Spotify. Do you have a YouTube channel too that you got all your stuff on there?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Our
You know,
new single is out, actually.
if people watching, I have all your Instagrams here. Minutes. I think it's. I don't have your band, but I think it's what Minutes Unsettled.
Yeah.
Is that how it is on
Correct.
Instagram? Easy,
Yeah.
easy stuff.
That is
Honestly, if you just look up Minutes Unsettled,
Yeah,
it'll
well, you
probably
put
just
that, it
pop
pops
up.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Just like the Room podcast. Actually, there's
Yeah.
like 20 of us around. There's fucking. I think one Room podcast is 2 women that talk about fucking clothes or like shit.
Awesome.
Shows up when I like put my Google in. I'm like, what the
name.
fuck is that? Sorry if I'm swearing.
It's fine.
Yeah, don't even worry.
Yeah, I'm
Listen to our
show,
music.
man.
So, you're playing guitar also. Is that something you're gonna take off with as far as that? Because you can. I mean, you might have another songwriter kind of in your on your
Oh, yeah.
hands
Oh,
here playing
definitely, yeah.
guitar, right?
Yeah, we're all multi-instrumentalists. I mean, like, so it goes hand in hand. But with guitar, I love playing guitar, not just because it's guitar. It's cool to say you play guitar and stuff. But just playing drums, it's like you can't write a song like that. You need to be able to write the melody. You need to be able to play write a full song. So I taught myself guitar and bass. Translated over to bass, then got into recording a little. Started.
Dave Grohl over here.
Yeah, exactly. No,
But
he
you're the
he
same
is
way. He is. We are like copies of human beings. It's
yeah, he's like my mini me. It feels like sometimes it's
Yeah, 'cause
kind of
you
weird.
said you started playing drums. That was like the
Exactly.
first thing that you
Yep,
played.
drums, and then everything else just kind of took off. For years, I put out a bunch of albums under my own personal name, and I was just kind of throwing it out on SoundCloud, and then later came like Spotify and stuff when that came out. And then it was like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should try like making music with other musicians and see what happens. And honestly, I could never find like the right musicians to play with. Like, I'd either have like really talented people with the worst, most insufferable egos imaginable. Like, and that's kind of what
That's music for you.
Oh, yeah.
it really is.
Yeah.
It happens when you're a musician. I got an ego too,
Happens
but
to the
like
best
it's,
of us.
yeah,
And that's what I said to you. It's like, you got some of these bands or the drummer like gets pissed or, he's not very happy with you writing his parts and stuff. But
exactly.
man, you have to take input, man. That's how you're gonna grow, and
Because that's the biggest thing at the end of the day is we're all in this together. We're not trying to step over anybody's toes. We know that we're trying to, again, grow, as you said, as a band. And I think, having those fragile egos that are just, it's nothing but a roadblock at the end of the day.
Even if I'm at home writing stuff to send to the band, I write with the intention, fully aware that every single part in the song can be deleted and redone. I'm not gonna get upset that they're like that. Say Tyler's like, "Hey, let's rewrite the drum part." I'm like, "Yeah, do it. It's your instrument, Adam. I don't even write vocals. You do what guitar part is comfortable, and I'll sit the bass where I'm comfortable." And that's basically how I'm just sending it to say, "Hey, here's a framework concept. Take it and run with it."
You ever say to them like, anyone ever like say, I didn't like the way I did that, and the guy's like, fuck no, that was awesome or something.
Oh, yeah.
Keep it or
Yeah.
something. I mean that
Especially
worked out
with
great.
him.
Yeah.
He is way too humble. This kid is a monster. He is.
Yeah.
He's. People don't realize he is. Minutes Unsettled. If it was just me and Adam, we're just typical mainstream writers.
Yeah.
It would be another basic, probably classic rock band.
Classic rock or something. It would be very mainstream sounding, but he is the Unsettled to our Minutes.
Yeah.
Honestly, he is the core of this band. Like, he is the foundation.
My whole bit is I'm tired of hearing the same thing. I've been around music, and I've also been in the metal scene for a really long time, and I've been warned, like, it's all these same kind of samey things getting worn down, grinded down over time, and like, yeah, bands are gonna perfect how a sound is gonna go, but nobody ever like pioneers or drives anything new. So I was like, I'm sick of hearing this. I want to do something heavy. Adam, we're gonna do something heavy, and I'm just gonna go absolutely as nuts as I can. And whether you say no, yes or no, we'll go from there.
And most of what he creates is pure gold as it is.
Yeah,
That's
it's like,
the-
how did you do that? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Well, inspirations, like, what do you listen to, or where do you get, that inner fire
What
from?
doesn't he listen
we
to?
go.
It's crazy.
My origin, so Adam and Tyler have kind of like the behind the scenes of like, well, my parents were in bands and they kind of, it kind of blended into how I live. My parents didn't have that. My mom just like worked for this theater company. My dad is just like an engineer. I'm downplaying it, but I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. But like, they didn't have. Of course, they listen to music. They love, they loved Smashing Pumpkins and like that kind of, grittier '90s alternative stuff that's a little off the cuff and weird. And that's where I started, and then. I don't know, something just kind of snapped in the middle, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to listen to bands like Throne and like Lotus Eater and all the, like, Loathe and these dirty and gritty, like, weird 5-minute interlude kind of bands. And, like, I don't know, they brought up a caliber in me that made me realize, oh, you can do that. You can do that, and people will be like, okay, I'll listen to this. And so... from there, I was like, you know what? I don't have to do the same, open chug and then 12, I can just
Be as creative as you want.
I could throw whatever instrument in there and see if it can work out at the end of the day. I can play with the background noise behind the instrument, see what that brings out, I'm a producer first, trying to figure out, hey, what happens if I go into the granular transients of each instrument and move some things around? Will that change and will that sound good? So
he's a mad scientist.
That's what I'm saying. The new generation of no wonder why it's
Yeah.
like friggin' guys like all mad prodigies up here. Like I'm seeing this kid playing drums. I want to throw my sticks away. I'm like, what the frig? It's like Jesus. It's like because I was, I didn't know. I knew you from Instagram.
Yeah.
And the band itself, but I didn't know you guys individually on Instagram. And then I think it was yesterday I found you.
yeah.
Just by I was looking through the band and then like people who was tagged in. I'm like, all right, so I found the drummer, and also I was trying to get your names for the and your Instagram handles. And then I just started watching because of course I'm a drummer and jealous fuck, and I was like, this kid, man.
Yeah.
Like I heard the recordings first, and I'm like, I'm a drummer, I'm picking shit out.
Yeah.
Like the double bass and just technique, and I'm like,
You
can
can
do
really
that
hear
now.
you can really hear Tyler's skill and talent on our latest single, Delirium, because that's the first song that we released with Tyler on drums. And for that, like for Inbee Refland and Controlled, where it was me on drums, I was playing on an electric kit.
Yeah.
And then it's going through a program called Superior Drummer, which pretty much gives you full control over the set, and you can swap
make
the
it
snare
acoustic,
out,
make it
whatever.
a rock set
Exactly,
kind of thing.
yeah. But even with that, like we were still figuring out our sound then and trying to figure out what we were as a band, which is why it's just an EP. But with this, it's a real drum set that we're recording in Tyler's basement. We do everything from Tyler's basement at that point. Like that's our home base. We just have all the recording equipment to be able to do it, and
it's free, right?
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Now, what is of course, your dad must fucking love it, or is
Yeah.
he's probably half deaf by this time, playing in bands all his life. But
Well,
What'd you say?
he's probably you son of a bitch.
You got me with that, too.
Yeah, no, I was sold on that one.
Be sure to tip your bartenders. I'll be here all night.
I should have you down with the comedians.
But yeah, my dad's like, he does DJ stuff. He has a great announcer voice, so he's I played hockey for most of my life, so he was always in the box
Yelling,
calling out the
screaming.
names.
Hockey
Yep,
dad.
Exactly. Yep. But yeah, he most of the gear, and then we we just kind of combined, and now we have everything we need. You know.
Does he ever
put it
come
all
down
together.
and jump on the drums? Or you guys ever jam
Oh,
with him?
no.
Man?
He's
Oh, he just
kinda-
comes down to watch.
Yeah, he just sometimes. Yeah.
Is he a little too afraid to be showing up? He doesn't want to jump on the
No,
drums.
no,
He's
no.
just like it's
No,
past.
he's
It's my-
given up by this
That's
point.
it.
But yeah, yeah, he's definitely that's the whole reason I'm in music. So it's not. I mean, I've stolen all his stuff by now, but
Oh, and he's most definitely at your shows, right? When
yeah.
you play.
Oh yeah,
he's
he's
there
the
right there.
one that's always there, no matter what. He was my last band. He was my sound guy. Does
Awesome.
everything for
He's
me.
living.
It's
He's
great.
living his rock and roll dream through you now, man.
He
It's
is,
fucking
yeah.
awesome.
He does a lot for the band.
Yeah, I'm
definitely.
sure he does.
Yeah.
I'm sure he does. I mean, he's given up his house for you guys.
Yeah.
Probably cracking his foundation and shit like that.
At this point,
Let's do
probably.
it.
He encourages it.
Replacing windows and stuff. Now, you know, it's your rehearsal spot. Do you ever have like is it big enough you ever have people come down there and, you know, just hang out and watch you, or is it more of a private kind of?
Typically, we're
A little
very
bit more
private.
private.
Yeah,
we're private.
we're writing
band.
music and we're rehearsing the
And
same.
Yeah, we don't like to release anything until like we know it's ready to be released and show anybody anything. Yeah, we're very kind of secluded in our sense.
And the thing is too, we're like we're more than just a band. When you're watching us, you're watching three best friends.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
the charisma is beyond your understanding. Like you have to be in it. You know.
exactly.
Well, I see on some of
Crazy.
your Instagram, you guys
Yeah.
are kind of like, you know,
Yeah,
busting
just-
each other's balls with
Yeah.
that and
Yeah.
stuff. So
But it's, you know, we're very protective of what we have, and we're very. I saw it when I first came into this. It took me a really long time to get through, especially with Mitch. They put me through the ringer with tryouts and stuff. I made it through.
oh,
We-
Mitch all over you.
I-
You're gonna be playing
but-
my music.
well,
you better
it's-
get it right.
Not all mine, but I'm very just. I've been, blindsided before, and so I'm like, let's do this as right as we can. We're gonna have a bunch of gates going. I'm sure he'll break through, but when he does, and he did, and that was just how it had to be.
Well,
Because
like I said though, like we have played, Mitch and I both, and in our own senses too, like individually, we've played with musicians that they have put us through the ringer in the sense of, and that's exactly why we said no fragile egos, no bullshit, we're sick of it, is because like we're just, we're best friends here. Like we've been doing this for a while. We make music because we enjoy it, because it's genuinely fun. And sure, like we're trying to take off and see, the sky is the limit as far as where we're trying to take our music. But we don't take ourselves seriously in that degree. Like so we wanted to make sure that, this person who just covered one of our songs is in it because he genuinely is passionate about it and wants to do it, or if he's just trying to do it, just as an ego stroke.
Yeah,
type of
I want to
thing,
be in a band. I want to be out there and playing.
Right.
I want chicks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I don't want to do the work that
All
it takes.
too
You know what I
common.
mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's always finding somebody who's willing to like put in the effort and at the same time be like, if you say, hey, could you do this, they're like, give me a second. Yeah, no, I could do that. I could try that, see how that sounds. And it's always good to find that, because we've thought we found that before, and then it ended up being not so, and
Blindsides us.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so it puts you in a shell. It puts you in a place where you're like, I need to feel like I have some form of control again. Like I can get back on my feet and continue. And then it, but that just cuts you off from new creative ideas, and it's hard. But when they do break through, they break through hard, and it works.
There was a point where I'm trying to be good here, but
Just gonna flame me.
yeah,
Spit
no.
out.
There was a
Comes the dirt.
point.
I fucking love it. This is what this show is all about.
But the tea is spilling here. No, there was a point when we started off and we were writing our music and we had the foundation of what we had.
Mhm.
There was a point where we were trying to get other musicians involved with Minutes Unsettled before we were going to release an EP and see if possibly that they would be able to bring Minutes to a new level in that sense. So it wasn't just only two people just recording everything and writing everything and stuff. But a lot of that also had to do with the fact that we were at a point in our lives where we were still kind of building up our confidence as musicians too. So we thought that we needed other people to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But man, that was something else. It was because what we're doing.
That could like, having that kind of negativity or someone not gelling with you could ruin the kind of spark or interrupt the spark that you guys have together.
And our spark is unorthodox, right? Especially with him kind of like steering the ship.
Always going to Mitch. This fucking guy's a beast. This guy's out of his mind. We don't know what's coming out of his head.
Well, no, and that's what we love about Mitch. We love Mitch for that because he doesn't give a care in the world about what other people are doing. He's so unique and individualistic in his sense, and it really kind of pushes us to be more like it too.
You ever say to these guys, like if he's writing something or he's saying that sounds too much like this band or something like that, you need to think that you're on? Or,
not exactly that. I've been like, you know what? I've told this before of like dig deeper type thing. It wasn't exactly sounds like too much like whoever, but it's just, dig deeper. What more can you find within this? There's always, I'll go back to editing transients in some DAW. There's always something deeper than what you're just gonna put on the surface and be like, hey, this is where I can do it. I'm like, no, you can do more. Let's see it.
So he sweet talks you into believe.
He's got deep. He whispers sweet nothings into our ears and really kind of smooth talks us.
Put
and then
something in my drink. I don't know what happened.
Jesus, man. No,
he's not that guy.
They also, I come from writing music. I never thought of myself as playing music, but they always, whip it back at me and say, hey, do more, do this, try to find a caliber within yourself that's higher than what you're used to. And so it's the back and forth push and pull that really brings us beyond what our comfort zone traditionally is.
The thing that's like from the second I walked into the room with Mitch, I knew there was something different. Like I had met Adam first. I walked into the studio, like we're nicest guy I've ever met. At first glance.
That's what you think so far, baby boy.
No,
but
first
just you wait.
Give me a year and a half.
Just you
change
wait.
But yeah, it was like I walked in, we were having a normal conversation, we're like, and then the day that I go in to practice with both of them the first time, Mitch is like in the corner, like stretching like a sumo wrestler, getting ready to fight. And then he like I was just talking to Adam. We were getting ready to start, and then like he would just like scream randomly. You just
pumping
like,
himself up, getting his stuff
Adam would
going.
be like, "Go put your bass drum," and he'd be like, "Ah!" And then I'd be like, "Whoa, what is this guy doing over there?"
Just kind of throwing things at the wall. He was just screaming in the corner. It was
Tourette's coming out.
Yeah, he was standing on his head.
Yeah, he was spectacle the first time I met him, but he was ever since then. I knew there was something from the very second I met him, and it like he's the root of the whole I've never heard this aspect of Minutes, where I'm like, okay, I've never heard of this, I want to be part of this, and I didn't realize it until I met him. I thought the music perfectly reflects both of their personalities and parts, but the music is Mitch. That is just the weirdness is. It's him in a nutshell.
I'll be on Spotify on the way home. Listen, I mean, I haven't checked you out on Spotify. I've been just listening, like the clips you have on, from the show and what you have on your Instagram and your Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'll be all over it on my way home. Listen to that fucking. My daughter will be too.
Appreciate it.
But these guys, they sound like they're almost done. Hopefully they're fine. But we're gonna go through your Instagram right now. And I'll put that up for people out there. We can go through it a little bit, check out some stuff. Right there. So let me just make it bigger. So this was the Alchemy show, I do believe.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Are these? Oh, all right. So there's the
Yep.
screens
Oh,
there.
yeah.
All right. I don't want to. That's not gonna pick it up that way. Look at fucking Tyler with the cousin Ed here. You too, man. I had the
Yeah.
same. I had the same same hairstyle as you.
The half
When I was a
buzz?
drummer, yeah, I used to
Hey.
friggin'
Yeah.
love it.
It's a
Friggin'
good
love
look.
it. And when it starts growing, when it started growing back, like your hair would stick to it, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I need to shave that off again.
You
But-
can see it in one of the pictures. A couple of strands that are getting caught on the peach fuzz.
So this is what your Spotify numbers right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long you been on Spotify?
Since 2021.
So
So corrects me.
The breakdown. Yeah.
so this looks good. Who's filming this? Who's editing
Us.
that?
All of us.
Us.
That's
Yeah.
all you guys
Yep.
doing
Yeah.
it?
We do this all ourselves. Everything you see, we get help from Adam's brother sometimes, but other than that, everything you see is just us.
Yeah. It's mostly just like,
There's Pub on Park.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You guys look great too. I mean,
Thank you.
That's a lot. That's a big part of bands at this point. You know what I mean?
We focus on that a lot. We meticulously plan our shows.
Put on a show. Yeah, you put on a great. That's the. Is that the song or is that the
The
name of the
teaser
EP?
for the
It's a
song.
teaser for the song, yeah.
It was a lot of fun to make.
Yeah.
So this. See, this is good stuff. I like this shit.
Damn,
Yeah.
I look great. What can I say?
I'm not gonna watch them. You're not modest, that's for sure.
Oh, no.
It's not in my dictionary.
So what is that? Is that a?
That's the flyer for our first show, the house show that we played in the backyard.
And you guys put that flyer together?
no, they did for
Oh,
us.
for the,
Yeah.
for the place. All right.
It's our first photo shoot. We look so good and young.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right
Like
when
Like
we
6
had
months ago.
Was it that?
Yeah.
That was when?
June, July.
June?
July.
Wow. Oh, yeah, because it was just
When it was
beaming heat.
when it was still warm enough to be in my garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys go to a lot of shows? Or
We try to.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, typically more shows that we're playing. We're big on supporting the other acts, but we're also kind of focused on, selfishly, we're kind of focused on what we're doing, because I also know me as a songwriter and as a lyricist too, and as a producer. Like, a lot of other people's music will affect me in a way where I'll hear something that another band is doing and I'll be like, oh, I gotta try that out. And it's like it can work for some senses, but in other ways it can actually hurt you in more
Yeah.
times than not as being your own musician,
Yeah.
Now, this show on the 7th, any new material you're going to be throwing out there? I mean, it's still
Possibly.
it's still a few weeks, but
Can't
you
let
got any-
the cat out of
Yeah,
the bag
yeah,
too
right,
much,
all right.
but we'll
We'll
we
keep that one
always
vague.
we always give a unique show everyone.
Every every show, even though it's run by a video and it's like set, like you would think it would just be like press and play machine. But
Yeah.
We want to
If-
make sure that everybody gets a unique experience specifically to that show.
and especially the people who are coming every single show, you don't want to see the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That was wild, the TVs I just saw up there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm listening to you, but I'm like, for me to just think back at that, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because you don't see that.
Yeah.
It seems like it's part of the venues
Yeah,
thing, and
we're
you guys are bringing that.
We're
Yeah.
really proud of that because we
Yeah.
I feel like that's an idea that a lot of bands have had pass through their heads, but they have never gone through with it and trying to put it to use. But we had the idea in the same week we had it running.
Yeah.
We were ready to go.
Do you guys want to try to play something with them playing? Or you think that would pick up?
And if it didn't pick up now, then
I just don't want it with them. You're going to be singing. You don't want to hear someone in your back. I'm just waiting for them to. Yeah, I figured we would go to like 9:30.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
You want to try? I mean,
Yeah.
they were almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to try to play something?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
why
why not?
let's just-
Yeah,
do
whip
it.
your
Let's go
stuff
for it.
out, man.
Why don't we do like one song and then we'll see how that kind of sounds and then
Yeah, and then we'll wait a couple of minutes, and then yeah, because the gates are on the mics right now. Don't worry about if you drop anything. I don't care.
Just destroying the place.
No,
right
I
now.
just don't want him to hurt his instruments.
We go.
If you got to move over a little bit, or you got to push back a little bit.
Yeah, I don't ram into you.
So hold on, everything.
Yeah.
But that is.
Mic placement 101.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's what we're all about.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So you play your guitar, just so I see it getting picked up. Are you playing too?
No, I'm not playing.
All right, so you play too. Everyone play.
We're looking set.
Yeah, I think you're good, man. So you can play
That's,
whenever
that's
you
our
want.
new song called
Oh.
D.
Let me, let me see if I can.
Beautiful.
You can hear it, right?
Yeah.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
Yeah.
Let's go, man.
All
This is
right.
live. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't expect miracles.
Anything can happen.
You guys
Let's do
sound
it.
great. So, we do have a band playing down the way. So you guys, let it rip. Whatever you want to do, man.
So this is actually our very first song that we put out. This is from the start. This song is called Controlled. I'm sick of living in a hell that puts you right next to me. Where I am in this misery, leave me be, you've put me here. Please, I don't need any more agony bestowed onto me. You're like a drug and I cannot break this addiction out of my skin, of my bones, inside me and all about. Deadly as a snake, and I am filled with doubt. That's all in your game, and I have struck out. And I'm sick of driving in tears. I'm done with lying in fear. I feel so far from home. I'll learn to love, or I'll be gone. Take me away from all this wrong. I'm a broken soul, heart's black as coal. What does it mean to feel home? I'm I'm walking in the rain just to hear your voice of sympathy. But where has it gone since yesterday? Suddenly things change. Except for me, all I ask for is some sort of consistency. I own this habit of pretending like things are fine, but I can't think of a better time. But I can't think of a worse goddamn time in life. Show me your hands. Where is your mouth? What does it mean to feel whole? I'm controlled. I'll learn to love or I'll be gone. Take me away from all this wrong. I'm a broken soul, heart's black as coal. What does it mean to feel whole? I'm controlled. I'm controlled. I'm controlled. Thank you.
That was fucking awesome.
Thank you very
guys.
much.
Harmonies, everything. Fucking Mitch over there throwing in a couple of fucking vocals, bro.
Thank you very much.
So who? That's a great song.
Thank you.
That doesn't sound like something you guys do. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
like that must blow people away when you play that song after, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good stuff right there.
Thank you. That was our very first song that we put out. That one I will take a little bit of credit for here. I wrote the song from start to finish. It was actually a song that was supposed to be a solo song, and when Mitch and I kind of agreed, like, hey, let's form up this band, and we came up with the name Minutes Unsettled. It was like, all right, we need to put something out here, and I was like, yo, what about this song Controlled? I've been bouncing it around for a bit. And he's like, you know what? Why not? F it, let's do it. So
I thought, all right, so I love harmonies. Fucking good. Yeah, man. It not that it sounds like them, but it has that I'm going old school, like has that extreme vibe. Remember the band Extreme? And
we have
that's
gotten that.
mostly because, the acoustic and the harmonies like that. That would that's the click of the song, you know what I mean? What do they call it? The hook?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's you got a goddamn great hook of that song.
Thank
Right
you
there.
very
That
much.
whole chorus part right there. And good stuff, man.
Really appreciate it.
I hope it ain't on these guys. If it didn't sound good, it's all on fucking the producer, the sound engineer over here. So it sounded great. You were getting a bunch of hots over here, but I
Okay.
recorded some of it, from the room's perspective. So I'll send that to you if you want to add it to whatever you did.
Yeah.
But no, I hope you play. You're gonna play something else later. Or
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
Right.
We got 2 songs that we brought with us.
Awesome.
That and another song.
All right. So wait a minute. We'll let people breathe after that.
Yeah.
So what is that song about?
So that song I wrote about a relationship that I was in that
Those
I
are the best songs.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Like every other song, right? It's always about like a girl or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It came from when I was reflecting on an old relationship or something. It was like a situationship more like. But it was
I
something
like that.
where
Situation.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my next fucking relationship. It's a
Right.
situationship, lady.
But I was in it and I felt exactly that controlled where I didn't really have much of a say in anything. And I felt like, no matter what, I was kind of dancing around through flames for somebody else. and I couldn't really be my own person. And that was also like a point in my life that I was at where kind of fed into In Bereft Land, the whole EP, where it's about saying, you know what, no more. I'm not putting up with this any longer. It's time to walk away from this bereft land, essentially, this empty land where there's no hope for me, where I can't be myself. And this is actually what the second song that we're going to be playing is the very last song on this EP. It's called Trophy Under Me, where it's much more about finally saying, you know what, I'm gonna start a new lifestyle, no matter how difficult it may be. It's time that things are different here, and I'm gonna be my own main character rather than background character of someone else's life. So
Definitely hear the passion in that song.
Thank you.
You know, there's definitely me to it. You
Yeah.
feel it.
thank you
Yeah.
very much.
I mean, you feel it in your other songs too, but you know,
Yeah.
for me, I could feel it in there. I like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. The EP, when you play shows, do you have like, do you give them out, sell them? Like, do you have like,
Currently,
some of-
no, because
Alright.
we're kind of in this phase right now where we're still kind of figuring out the live scene. Like we've kind of gotten, you know, the studio stuff
Yeah.
down to like what we're trying to achieve here. Although we're not settling or anything like that, but with the live stuff, we're kind of figuring things out as
Still
we go along.
thinking of the marketing and like
Exactly.
different things to do? I mean, you got the
Exactly.
show figured out. I'm sure you're gonna
Thank
add
you.
other things, but yeah.
The biggest thing
baby
is
steps, right?
Yeah.
Baby
exactly.
steps.
You know, the biggest thing is making sure that we give a show that people aren't gonna forget, but it's really just getting it out of ourselves. And you know, we're a band first and a business second. Although the business portion is definitely very important, and
Yeah.
that's, believe me, especially me, I'm a, you know, that's a huge passion point of mine, is, you know, selling stuff. But I'm more passionate about the music and the emotion behind it, rather than just saying, all right, buy our CDs, buy our t-shirts or whatever, you know. Like
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'll come. It'll come
Yeah.
down there. I mean, like I said, baby steps. You got the music figured out. You got the show pretty much figured out. You know, girlfriends,
Yeah.
table on the side. That it's gonna
Yeah.
come. You're gonna start getting all those. If you don't already have them, all these people are gonna want to kind of help you out because they believe in you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
we're definitely seeing a lot of that too, which is really cool, because we're seeing the people who are definitely, they see what we're trying to do, and want to help out. And it's, you know, there's so many people to thank at that point. It's cool. It really is.
so I just that song is just so different than I've been hearing. Fucking
Yeah.
I mean, I like that.
That's
I'm totally into harmonies and layer. You know what I mean? And layer and I mean, I like.
When we're all
I like
plugged
the
in,
heavy stuff
Yeah.
Mhm.
because you know, scream and shit. But I like the heavy stuff. It's more for the drum and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the fuck does he do that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a fucking a young kid doing that shit. I'm like, how the fuck does he do that?
when we're all plugged
Practice,
in
practice,
and stuff
practice,
like that,
practice.
we put on a pretty chaotic show, I'd
Yeah.
say.
No, it's
So I will go on the 7th. I'll bring a
well,
couple.
Appreciate it.
I'll bring a couple of people. I haven't been to the joint, and I got to see what you guys are all about and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll definitely go. I'll hang out with your dad or something like that. So what? Yeah. So that I was on the EP stuff. When is the next time you think you guys are gonna record and stuff?
We're always recording stuff.
Yeah.
We are.
constantly.
I don't want to give away too much too soon, but we're always working on stuff, and we've got something in the works right now. But especially when we're silent, that's how you know, like, we're busy.
Head to the grindstone,
Exactly.
like you said.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No,
So-
it
and
really is.
you'll
It
be
is
playing.
an obsession.
You'll play what? You guys would like play every night if you could, right? Like
Yeah.
just
Oh,
open
yeah.
like just play,
Yeah.
just to get out there and play.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, I had the comedian in last week, and he goes, you know, got these comedians, so they're never gonna get better because they're only going out there once a month. And it's because they're looking for bigger shows you know, they don't want to play in front of like one or two people. But that's sometimes where you get your best That's
it can
work.
be
You know what I mean?
difficult, though, especially with promoters nowadays. And I'm not throwing shade on anybody, but it's just the business. It's kind of knowing how to play the business, because what a lot of it boils down to is how much of a draw that you can bring in to the shows. So we try not to play too much because we don't want to burn our
Yeah,
crowd
I see
out
what
or
you
anything
mean.
like
Yeah,
that.
totally.
So we're kind of like sprinkling in just a little bit, just to kind of see, how things are going and how people react to our music, and then, go from there.
We used to kind of do this, play a couple of times a month, and we used to get guys. We used to play 4 and leave fucking hungry 4 until next time.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I mean?
that's how it was
did
at
that last
the we
show.
did
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
that
Is
at
that
the
right?
Alchemy show. Yeah. So we had a 20-minute set, and we have about 35 minutes worth of material right
Yeah.
now. So we're like, all right, how do we give just the right
Yeah.
dosage that it's like the sample size?
Yeah. Yeah, the sample
Yeah.
size.
Pretty good job.
The
Yeah.
economy pack.
Yeah, right. It's the free version.
But yeah, that's also feeling the crowd out, right? Too a little
exactly.
bit. You know what I
Yeah, yeah.
mean? It's like you want to end that last song to be cherry on top. You know what I mean?
Exactly
And
that.
sometimes you're like, are we gonna get? Well, that next song topped it, but it's up to how you're feeling there. But
Yeah.
sometimes you just want to leave them teased.
Yeah,
Yeah.
know?
exactly.
That was good. That's good enough.
Tease 'em
Fucking
and
let's get
please
the
'em.
fuck out.
Let's go.
It's
Yeah.
awesome. So guys, if you want, I mean, they're quiet over there. So,
Yeah, let's-
you know what I
let's-
mean. If
Let's
you
jump in
you
now.
want to
before,
jump, yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
yeah.
they could be playing something else again. But
Yeah.
let it roll, man.
By the way, we do not play Wonderwall nor Freebird.
No.
Got a comment so far about that.
Oh, are you? Is someone
Yeah.
asking?
Yeah.
See, I don't see any of my comments.
No, on
That's-
YouTube.
Yeah, that's. Oh, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, someone said Wonderwall, and just before anybody else suggested, no, we're
It's
not
probably
playing
friends of
Freebird,
mine
yeah.
because I'm old as fuck.
You got depressed Toad over here. That's how I feel sometimes.
Yeah.
We're all just a bunch of depressed toads in a frog landscape here.
I
All
can't
right.
believe you got it on YouTube and I can't find it.
I just searched the Room podcast.
Yeah, I own it. I can't find the video. All right, guys, whenever you're ready,
Yeah.
All right. So
do your
this
thing.
this one is from our debut EP. This is the last song on it. This is called Trophy Under Me. Lay down your torch. The world knows your name. Don't incinerate it more. You've no one to blame. Blade and your blade. You wish you were me. It's all a game. Now you're the trophy under me. I'm sick of the chase. I'm turning to face away from the human race. Could never find my place, could never see a lucrative ending. This paragon needs me to step away from this. blade and your blade. You wish you were me. It's all a game. Now you're the trophy under me. Now you're the trophy under me. Now you're the trophy under me. Thank you.
Whoa, man. Fucking A. There we go again. Was that the last one?
Yeah.
I can't even. I'm gonna have to rewind and see how it sounds. But more hots. Did anyone ask for
No more Wonderwall.
No. Oh, there's the end of it.
Two.
Oh,
And
just
there we
caught
go,
the
yeah.
end of it. There was the harmonies at the end of it. Guys, I fucking love this.
Thank you.
Let me friggin' tell you. You definitely got to be down again. I will be coming to the show. I'll definitely come. I have
Can't wait
Sundays.
to see you.
I have Sundays and Mondays off this whole month. I work at the post office, so this whole month
cool.
I've been working 12, 14, 16 hours a day, then coming back and doing this. So I haven't been able to get out. I've been doing this and working. But I'm definitely going to come see you on the 7th because January, first week of January, not working.
Yeah. You're on
Yeah,
vacation.
I'm
after that.
basically on vacation. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll definitely come down and check you guys out.
Can't
and,
wait to see you.
I'll definitely support you when you guys you put out when the flyer or whatever, when you have the full thing going on as far as who's playing and stuff. Let me know. I'll share it and stuff like that. Tag me in it and stuff, and I'll definitely come down and if I'll maybe I'll whip out my old camera and get an interview guys at the show. You know what I mean? I'll just get, to show the crowd or something like that. I'll take some things, you know what I mean? Because I have a great camera and stuff. I go to the fights and I interview the fighters there. So
sweet.
I could definitely, I'll definitely come by. As long as I can get in with a camera and they don't, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's about it.
Well, thank you
Alright,
so
man.
much for having us
Yeah,
on.
definitely. I'll
Been a
definitely
pleasure.
have you on again. I will be there on the 7th. Hopefully I can take my daughter. If not, I'll have a couple of friends with me. Drinking beer.
Rock
Wishing you
on.
well and stuff like that. But man, thanks, man.
Thank you
guys.
very much.
That was fucking awesome. Great. Anything you guys want to say before I let you go?
Just be sure to check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram, Facebook, all of that type of stuff. Check out our new single called Delirium. That's Tyler Boy's first song that he played drums with us on. So we're real proud of that one. And be sure to check out the show coming on January 7th. More details are to come soon. We're just, again, ironing some details out at the moment. But yeah, anything else you guys want to add? Don't run with scissors. Just
No, that's
can't be
it.
too careful in today's world.
Words of wisdom right
Yeah,
there.
Exactly.
With that said, guys, first whole band in here. I hope it sounded good out there, guys. Like I said, it's my fault if it didn't. And I just have to say, I hooked all this shit. Get you guys in here because I know I only had a couple of mics, and I wanted to, do it right and have a
He's
good,
the best. He's
good
the
show
best.
with you guys. I'm like you guys. I'm a perfectionist. I gotta do
exactly.
it. You know what I mean? Last thing, anyone out there, they know a Jamie who wants to come in here and press buttons because look, I'm just gonna show you how beautiful you guys are. I had different fucking cameras for every one of you, and I did start doing it in the beginning, but it's just too much work. Look at the
Mhm.
camera too. But anyone wants to come down and be our Jamie. Next time you guys come down, maybe bring one of the kids.
Yeah.
Wireless camera, Adam's camera, Mitch's camera. We don't need Steve's camera because they see enough of us. But
Well, if you need any for any of the fighters that you interview too, I feel like our music would go well
definitely
over like some intros.
walkout music and shit like that.
Exactly, yeah.
I
Play
will
Melt or
I
Delirium or
will
something.
definitely put a word out there, man, because I'm sure there'll be fighters out there that would love local original music.
Or
to
even
walk
just
out
like
to.
an intro video or something too, like because we're all video producers too.
Let me know
so.
because the promotions I know and stuff like that. Some of your
Yeah.
original on some of the highlights and shit. Like that.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely let you know. This is why I'm doing this, to make connections.
Yeah.
You know, gain some of your followers, get some of my followers, and back and forth. Even though you guys quarter of my age.
We have someone
but-
asking. I don't know if you want to wrap it up right now. We
What do
just
they-
got a comment saying talk about Delirium.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have a song out called Delirium. Delirium is fun. That was the first song that we worked on as like a 3-piece band. So we had a lot of fun with that one. It started from Mitch, just like pretty much every other song. He had this demo that he sent us, and he was like, "Hey, what do you guys think about this one?" And it sounds like a fight to the death, honestly. And that's how it made me feel, and it's kind of what inspired a lot of the lyrics too on that song. Is just like, you know what, let's just push through all the nonsense here, and I don't know where I'm gonna be running here. I can't see shit, but I can run into delirium. So let me just take it and run with it. And that was the first song again that Tyler was on drums on. Yes, sir.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm sure you'll have a lot of highlight video of that when it happens again. But until then, guys, I will see you on the 7th. I'll be following you. I'm definitely going to listen to that songs on the way home, especially started off in. Popped your cherry with these guys.
Yeah.
But with that said, guys, Minutes Unsettled, man. Thank you so much. First band. Any other bands want to come down here? You can't rock out with electric guitars, but I think you
Yeah, who's stopping us?
you pulled it off with folk guitars and doing your stuff, man. I love it. Anyone else wants to come down? You got some friends down the line, band friends.
Yeah.
Want to come on the show?
Absolutely. We will spread the word.
You know, if you're playing with the bands or something like that, like if the show in a couple of weeks or something, a couple of bands want to come on leading up to the show, let me know. I can accommodate. You guys can be my kind of middleman. You know what I mean? You'll get first dibs coming back. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, because I love what you're doing. I love the original scene and playing for me.
Well, thanks for
support.
supporting the local music too. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, it'll get more and more. It'll go down, but I dig the original bands. I dig the cover bands too, but I'm more of an original kind of guy and that stuff. But you never know.
Exactly.
You never know. I might be in a highlight fucking video. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I'm looking to get my pretty face out there too.
Yeah.
So. All right. With that said, we're gonna get out of here, guys. Been here for an hour and a half, man. Good show, guys. Great stuff, and pleasure getting to know you, hear your
Likewise.
stories, hear the band, and I'll be coming to see you live on January 7th at
Dusk in Providence.
There you go. With that said, we'll be back next Wednesday with another musician. What his name? Sorry. His first name's Ben. But he'll be in here on his own doing his own solo stuff. So with that said, Ben's in good hands. With that said, thank you so much, Tyler, Mitch, Adam.
Yeah.
We out of here.
Don't run with scissors.
Podcast.